welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we are trying another Tullibardine. It's actually the Whisky.de 30 years anniversary edition, and is one of the Tullibardine the Murray. This is one of these collection or bottling series that are a bit connected to the brand, I would say. They're off the brand, and I think they are in honor of someone who actually is very in the region, I think, for the battle or something. The Murray. I'm not quite well with that history. What I do know is they do have 1488 on their label, and that is like, whoa, 1488. Really? Was the distillery that old? No, it's not that old. The distillery is actually 1949. So the distillery is fairly young, I would say, 70 years old. So it was closed several times and bought several times, but now they are doing quite well. 2014 they moved into a bigger building, into an old Baxter, which is a supermarket that just went bankrupt, and all their non-essential whiskey distilling equipment like maturation or bottling and all that kind of stuff went over into that supermarket building, and so they could expand a little bit with their normal operation. But let's get back to the 1488. So what does the 1488 stand for? Tullibardine, before it was a whiskey distillery, was actually a beer brewery. And in 1488, King James IV came through the town of Tullibardine and bought beer for, I think, probably a conquest of his army or something, for some fight, and he was very pleased with that beer. So a couple of years later, he actually gave out, I don't know if it was a royal warrant or something. So, but he named it like a really, really good beer brewery that supplied beer to him, the king, personally. They are actually at a really, really nice spot, and they do have the Danny Burn from the Ochil Hills, and that is Burn is a creek and has really, really good water. So the water flows through basalt and sandstone and is filtered really, really well, and it's just of very, very good quality. And I do know that there's plenty of water over there, so they do actually get I think water for, I think it's some supermarket brand in Scotland, and I think Highland Water. I'm not quite sure if they are there as well, but they want to be there. Well, they are already there. So bottled water comes from that area as well, because it's just really, really good water. And so the distillery is a bit more laid back. They are a bit less into computer-aided technologies, and so so they are producing a bit more traditional. And funny story is, when you have fermentation, you always have the topic of foaming over. Back in the days, it was just a bit of foam, soap in there, and then you now have anti-foam, which is more neutral, and you can have switcher blades that strike down the bubbles, or you just do it like Tullibardine. They just build it a bit bigger, and so the bubbles up and they naturally pop and never bubble over, except for these 1 or 2 times a year when it's really, really foamy. And I've just seen Sir William Murray, the second Marquess of Tullibardine. That is in the honor of that series, the Murray series. And this is now in honor of 30 years of Whisky.de, and this is a vintage one, distilled 2007, bottled 2023. And that is then, what is that? 16 years of age. So nice 16-year-old Tullibardine with, it's a triple wood. And this is a Moscatel, a white Port and Sauternes cask. Oh, and that has apricots, fresh fruitiness, sweetness, honey sweetness. So it really feels like summer. Yeah, like right now. It's really summer or late summer when the orchard are very ripe and some of the pears and apples have already dropped, and you just have that smell in the air of ripe fruits, maybe a little bit of fermented fruits as well. And sweetness. Oh, it is 46% ABE, so it's a bit more hefty, and you feel that. But also here in the taste has a lot of floral notes, apple notes, a little bit of a, strangely enough, bourbon character, a little bit, a hint of caramel in there. I don't think there are any bourbon casks involved in the production here, so strangely enough. I like it. So, a nice. It's strange that it is a 16-year-old and still I can say it's a nice, fresh summer whiskey. So, yeah, it's just the flavors in there are so much associated with summer, but it doesn't have any of that youth, Pierce apple freshness of, a new make spirit in there. That all comes from these special casks. And white port wine is kind of like Fino, is also not very common. So it's a bit of a, more of a special kind of whiskey, special as in with a little bit different flavors, not as oxidized as many other sherry or triple woods, but more of a potpourri of fruit salad and fruit punch. Yeah. So if you like this whiskey and you found yourself within that whiskey, have a look at Whisky.com. You can buy the Tullibardine, the Murray Triple Wood 30 years Whisky.de 16-year-old whiskey. So 30 years Whisky D is just the anniversary. And yeah, thank you much for watching and see you next time.